Do you find yourself drowning in potential, but somehow never taking the leap? You go to bed each night with that gnawing feeling of another day wasted on meaningless distractions, instead of building the life you know you're capable of. Maybe you've got these massive dreams that actually scare you, not because they're impossible, but because deep down, you know they're completely within reach if you could just get out of your own way. Look, I get it. The gap between who you are today and who you could become is terrifying. It's easier to scroll mindlessly than face that voice telling you that you'll never follow through anyway. But what if that voice is just a program running in your head, a program you can rewrite? Today I'm breaking down 6 proven strategies to defeat the self-sabotage that's keeping you playing small. These aren't feel-good platitudes, they're psychological weapons to destroy the resistance keeping you mediocre. Let's get started. Number 1, confront your fear of greatness. This might sound counterintuitive. Most people think they fear failure, but what if you're actually afraid of succeeding, of becoming the person you know you could be? Research from psychologists like Dr. Marianne Williamson suggests that many of us subconsciously fear our own potential, because with greatness comes responsibility, visibility, and the death of excuses. When you're playing small, you can always tell yourself, one day I'll. But when you step into your potential, you have to face reality. Here's what this looks like in practice. You start a project with enthusiasm, but as you begin making progress, a strange anxiety creeps in. Suddenly you find urgent distractions, or you convince yourself you need more research, more tools, more preparation. These are protection mechanisms against your own evolution. Let me give you an example. Think about when you decided to get in shape. The first day at the gym feels great, but around day 3, when your muscles ache and the initial excitement wears off, your brain starts offering compelling reasons to skip just one day, then another. Then you're back where you started. Your first action step. Take out a piece of paper right now and write down what specifically scares you about succeeding. Is it judgment from others? The responsibility of maintaining success? The fear that success won't feel as good as you imagined? Name it to tame it. Number 2, kill the consistency myth. There's this voice in your head that's been telling you a story. I'm just not a consistent person. I always quit. I never follow through. This story seems like truth because you've collected evidence for it over years, but it's selective evidence. The truth is, you're already consistent at many things. You consistently brush your teeth. You consistently show up to work. You consistently check your phone 150 times a day. The issue isn't your capacity for consistency. It's that you haven't directed this ability toward your highest goals. This is what psychologist Herbert Lefcourt called your locus of control. When you believe consistency is some innate trait you either have or don't have, you've surrendered your power to change. Let's try something different. Instead of focusing on areas where you've quit, identify areas where you've demonstrated consistency, even in small ways. Did you raise children? Maintain a friendship? Learn a skill? Show up to a job? These all required consistency. Your action step. Create what I call a proof of consistency inventory. List 5 examples from your life where you've demonstrated consistency over time. Keep this list visible. When that sabotaging voice says, "You always quit," you'll have concrete evidence to the contrary. Number 3, start embarrassingly small. The mind loves to dream big, but gets paralyzed by big changes. You don't need dramatic upheaval. You need ridiculously achievable daily actions. Can you imagine not having 15 minutes a day for something that truly matters to you? Of course you can. We all can. But that's the lie we tell ourselves. When behavioral scientist B.J. Fogg studied habit formation, he found that tiny habits stick when large ones fail. This isn't about motivation. It's about identity shifts through consistent small wins. Imagine this. You want to write a book. The thought of writing an entire manuscript is paralyzing. But what about writing for just 15 minutes each morning? That's so small it feels almost pointless. But here's the magic. After 30 days, that's 7.5 hours of writing. After 5 months, it's over 37 hours. That's enough to draft a short book. The key insight: The size of the daily action matters less than never breaking the chain. Your action step. Define your non-negotiable 15-minute daily commitment toward your most important goal. Make it so ridiculously small that your brain can't create excuses. Remember, you're not trying to achieve the goal in one day. You're establishing the identity of someone who shows up every day. Number 4, build external accountability. Willpower is overrated. The research is clear on this. Environment and accountability structures beat willpower every time. When you rely solely on internal motivation, you're fighting against millions of years of brain evolution designed to conserve energy and seek immediate rewards. Your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for long-term planning, simply gets tired. This isn't weakness, it's biology. Instead of trying to become a willpower superhero, build external structures that make following through easier than quitting. There are 3 levels of accountability, each increasingly powerful. Level 1, digital accountability, apps, trackers. Level 2, social accountability, coaches, groups, accountability partners. Level 3, high-stakes accountability, financial commitments, public declarations. The effectiveness increases with the consequences of not following through. Let me illustrate this. If you want to exercise regularly, a tracker app might help. Adding a workout partner who expects you to show up makes it harder to skip. But putting $500 in an accountability contract where you lose the money if you miss workouts for 2 consecutive weeks? Now you've created real stakes. Your action step. Select one accountability structure from each level and implement the simplest one today. Start small and upgrade as needed. Number 5, track visible wins. Your brain is constantly seeking evidence to support its existing beliefs. If you believe you're someone who never follows through, your mind will highlight every instance you quit while discounting evidence of persistence. This is confirmation bias, and it's sabotaging your progress. The solution? Deliberately track evidence that contradicts your limiting beliefs. The most effective method I've found combines 3 dimensions of daily wins. Physical wins, actions you've taken with your body. Mental wins, skills developed, knowledge gained. Spiritual wins, moments of presence, gratitude, connection. This comprehensive approach ensures you're not defining success through just one lens, which creates resilience when progress in one area plateaus. The neurological impact of documenting accomplishments is profound. Research shows that physically writing down achievements activates the brain's reward pathway, releasing dopamine and creating positive feedback loops. Here's a simple template. Each evening, write down one win in each category, no matter how small. I walked for 10 minutes counts. I read 3 pages counts. I paused to take 5 deep breaths counts. Your action step. Create a physical or digital journal specifically for tracking daily wins. The format matters less than the consistency of recording evidence that contradicts your "I never follow through" narrative. Number 6, embrace temporary discomfort. Let's be absolutely clear about something. Transformation is uncomfortable. Period. Anyone telling you otherwise is selling something. The ability to tolerate discomfort, what psychologists call distress tolerance, is the single greatest predictor of whether you'll achieve ambitious goals. This isn't about suffering for suffering's sake. It's about recognizing that temporary discomfort is the price of admission to a life of meaning and accomplishment. Every meaningful achievement in human history came through someone's willingness to endure discomfort, physical, emotional, social, or intellectual. Think about learning to drive. Remember how overwhelming it felt initially? Every movement required conscious thought. Now you drive while having entire conversations, barely thinking about the complex coordination involved. This is how all skill development works. Temporary discomfort leading to lasting capability. Your action step. Identify one uncomfortable but growth-producing activity you'll commit to for just 5 minutes daily. Maybe it's cold showers. Maybe it's reaching out to potential clients. Maybe it's sitting with difficult emotions without distraction. Whatever stretches your comfort zone in service of your goals. The key is framing discomfort as data, not danger. When resistance arises, say to yourself, "This discomfort is evidence I'm growing, not a signal to stop." Let's wrap this up. We've covered 6 strategies to defeat self-sabotage. Confront your fear of greatness. Kill the consistency myth. Start embarrassingly small. Build external accountability. Track visible wins. Embrace temporary discomfort. Here's the reality check. These strategies work, but only if you implement them. Not tomorrow, not when you feel ready. Now, because here's the truth most people don't want to hear. There is no neutral ground. You're either moving toward the person you want to become or sliding back into comfortable mediocrity. Every day, every hour, every decision, they all move you in one direction or the other. I'm not interested in playing small, in living with the gnawing regret of unfulfilled potential. Are you? The difference between where you are and where you want to be isn't knowledge, it's action. And action begins with a single step that you take today, no matter how small. If this resonated with you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. In the comments below, tell me, which of these 6 strategies will you implement first? And what's your specific 15-minute daily commitment? Declaring it publicly creates instant accountability. Subscribe for more content on defeating the psychological barriers to your success. I release new videos every week with practical strategies for breaking through resistance. Remember, your potential is too valuable to be sacrificed on the altar of comfort. Choose growth today. And as always, thanks for watching.